Rose was fond of Sabbath school and loved to please her teacher by having a good lesson and by very good behavior in her class. If any little girl laughed or whispered in the class, it was not Rose. But after Sabbath school was over and the new book read, there was often a little time left that seemed quite tedious to Rose. She was inclined to think her mother was too strict about keeping the Sabbath. She did not think of taking a ride, nor expect permission to take a ramble. But she did not see what harm there could be in reading a magazine story or writing a pleasant letter to a classmate or friend. She knew her mother did not approve of this and usually managed to pass the day in a manner to please her. I think she secretly admired her all the more for what she called her very strict ideas. One Sabbath she had gone to her own room, and after reading until tired, some pretty tinted notepaper in her portfolio looked too tempting for her to resist. "I'm thinking about Bella, and what more harm in writing to her," she said to herself. She took her pen and, laying her sheet on a newspaper before her, began to write. Just then some printed lines on a paper caught her eye. She seemed to look at the little verse a good while, for it was but one verse, and she could have read it in a moment before taking up her pen. And when she did, she held it above her sheet, as if balancing a question. "Shall I write to Bella today or tomorrow?" was the question. Something said today. The verse said tomorrow. As Rose minded the verse and was happier for it, I will tell you what it was. A Sabbath well spent brings a week of content and health for the joys of tomorrow. But a Sabbath profaned, whatsoever may be gained, is a certain forerunner of sorrow. This was more than 20 years ago, but Rose remembers the verse yet, and it has often helped her to decide Sabbath day questions. We will never regret staying within these boundaries that our Heavenly Father has placed for us. They are for our good.